when it comes to judges, of the 44, 19 have previously been voted upon, 13 by party line vote. I think we have 7 that we've reached consensus on and regarding a voice vote, and all the other nominees have already had hearings in the last Congress. I'd like to dispose of this and get on to other things for the committee. There was a request made by, I think, Senator Blumenthal and Feinstein to do a hearing about the deaths of the 2 young children in custody, DHS custody. That's going to be set, I think, for March 5th. I talked to Senator Blumenthal about some red flag legislation I'm working on with him. So to my friends on the other side, there seems to be a lot that we actually agree upon, and I would like to make this a productive committee, bipartisan as possible. And with that, I will turn it over to Senator Feinstein.
Thanks very much, Mr. Chairman, and I know this side of the aisle very much appreciates your comments, so thank you. Today, the committee, as you said, is voting on 46 nominees, 44 judicial nominees, as well as William Barr's nomination to be Attorney General of the United States. I'd like to first address Mr. Barr's nomination. As I have said from the outset, the question for the Senate is whether he is the right person for the job at this time. Special Counsel Mueller is in the midst of an investigation into Russian interference in the 2016 election, whether any U.S. persons were engaged in those efforts, and whether there has been attempts to obstruct justice. That investigation includes both criminal and counterterrorism allegations. It has already led to 37 indictments and guilty pleas, including 6 of the president's former advisors. This is also expanded to include investigations and cases in the Southern District of New York, the Eastern District of Virginia, and the District of Columbia's U.S. Attorney's Office. Special Counsel Mueller must be allowed to finish, and other Trump-related investigations and cases must also proceed without interference, with the underlying facts and evidence shared with the Congress and with the American people. This report must be made public. At Mr. Barr's hearing, I asked several questions about the investigation and the report that Mueller is expected to produce, and so did a lot of other senators. I also sent 2 letters following the hearing asking for Mr. Barr's commitment to provide the report to Congress and not interfere with the investigations. Unfortunately, Mr. Barr would not commit to providing Special Counsel Mueller's findings, and it was. The President has said that release on Mueller's report will be totally up to the Attorney General. This clearly means that this nominee, to me at least, is reluctant to state a position, and that's troubling at the very least. Mr. Barr wrote an extensive, single-spaced, 19-page memorandum 5 months before being named to this post. He provided great detail and legal arguments for his view of the President's absolute authority. Under his theory, the President is above the law in most respects. For example, Mr. Barr argued that conflict of interest laws cannot apply to the President because they, quote, would impermissibly disempower the President from overseeing matters, including those in which he has a personal stake. Mr. Barr concluded